My name is Liz Watt, and I'm a registered dietitian at the UNC Wellness Center. Today we're gonna make cauliflower rice. I know you can go to the grocery store and buy it in the freezer and have it ready for you, but it's so much better when you make it yourself. And it's super easy to make. So we have 1 head of cauliflower. We're gonna go ahead and chop it in half. And then we're gonna take this and just, nothing pretty. You don't need to have pretty florets. We're gonna kind of just chunk it into these smaller pieces and then chunk that down. I don't really want too much of like the stem, so I'm gonna cut a few of that off. A little bit of that part off, I don't need that. But you're just gonna kind of chunk it down. We're gonna go ahead and use our food processor today to go ahead and cut it, break the pieces of cauliflower down into looking like rice. This is a great thing to do if you're watching your carbohydrate intake. You can swap out the rice for any, swap out the cauliflower rice for any recipe that you have. So we're gonna go ahead and just put these guys in here. If you don't have a giant food processor, not that mine's giant, but if you don't have a giant food processor, or you have a really big head of cauliflower, which mine's actually pretty big here, you can always do this in batches. You don't have to do it all at one time. So I think that's about enough that I'm gonna be able to fit in here. And then you just want to pulse it. You don't want to pulverize it. You just kind of want to get it. You might want to plug in a food processor first. All right, let's try that again. You just pulse it around a couple times. Start to see it's looking a little bit more like rice or more like couscous. Smaller, finer, grainier. There's a couple more pieces that are getting stuck, so I'm going to take this out and move them around so they can get a little closer to the blade. Be very careful. You really shouldn't be sticking your fingers in the food processor right by the blade. All right, those guys are getting kind of stuck, so we're just going to take those out, and we're going to put these ones in with the next batch. So as you can see, it looks like rice. And the great thing about it is cauliflower will soak up any flavor you cook it in. So we're gonna cook it momentarily, but I first wanna show you, that's all you do to rice it. At this point, you can go ahead and put it into a Ziploc freezer bag and throw it in your freezer, and it's ready for you for whenever you want it, if you want to. Or we can go ahead and cook it, which we're gonna do in a minute. So first, we're gonna go ahead and, because we're doing this in batches, we're going to, little trick, stick your finger in the hole of where the blade goes, and that way when you dump it out, your blade doesn't get dumped out as well. All right, so there's our first batch. Let's go ahead and just do that one more time. Let's plug in that. This is making quite a bit. There's probably about 1.5 cups to 2 cups in this bowl right here, and we're doing 2 more. So we're probably gonna get 4 to 5 cups of rice. Like I said, I use it all the time in like stir fries, and once you put like the sauce and the vegetables, you have no idea that you're eating cauliflower. So if you're not really so much a fan of cauliflower, you would never know the difference. All right, so there we have, all right, I'm gonna go and take the blade out now. There we have, like I said, about 4 cups or so of your cauliflower rice. We're gonna hang on to that for just a minute. Take care of that. I'm gonna get a few of these items out of the way. So as you can see, I have those little green leafy pieces. We're gonna go ahead and cook the cauliflower, and I'm gonna add a few herbs. I really like green onions. I really like cilantro. So these are some things that we're gonna end up using. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop my cilantro down. I went ahead and actually took off the pieces, the leaves from the stems. You don't have to do it that way. It's a little more labor intensive to go through and pick off all the pieces of the leaves. If you'd rather, you can you can just pull the whole stem out and do it that way and just chop up the stems. The stems are great. They still have the same flavor as the cilantro does. As you can see, I'm literally just chopping this down into smaller pieces. You don't really want to take a bite of a giant piece of cilantro. Smaller, little pieces. All right, so we're gonna pick that cilantro up. We're gonna go ahead and put it in one of our little bowls. So we're gonna add these to our cauliflower rice while we are cooking. All right, so I'm gonna clean up a few things here. I'll meet you over at the stove for us to do part 2. Welcome back, guys. All right, let's go ahead and get our stove ready to go. We're gonna go ahead and heat up the pan, and we're gonna add a little bit of oil to it. I'm using olive oil today. You can pretty much add any herb that you want. If you really like diced onions, like actual chunks of onions, if you want to use garlic, that's a great one to use. Any herbs that you like. Like I said, I wanted to go ahead and use cilantro and green onions because I really like those flavors. So that's what we're going to use today. So once your pan is nice and hot, oil's moving around, we're going to go ahead and add that cauliflower to our pan. You're going to want it to cook about a medium-high heat till it's nice and golden in color. All right, I'm just going to let that be for a minute or two. I get a little impatient as I'm cooking. I'm just going to let it be. Some of the things we're going to add, like I mentioned, we already chopped up cilantro. We're going to do half of a lemon. We're just going to kind of give it a little bit of juice towards the end. And then green onions, the easiest way to do anything with your green onions is literally take kitchen shears and just cut them like that. It's so much easier than trying to cut them because they can get kind of stringy and it's hard to cut all those little membranes apart. If you like butter, that would be a really good fat to add to this instead of the olive oil. I really like the flavor of olive oil, so I use that pretty much all the time. But you could do an olive oil and a butter blend if you want to do it like that. That would be excellent in this. And this is going to be a great side dish for something like a roasted chicken, or you could do it with a light and flaky fish. I mean, it's rice. You can use it any way you want to. We've done it before in burrito bowls when we made burrito bowls. Again, once you add all your stuff to it, you wouldn't know it's cauliflower. You're going to cook it for about 3 to 5 minutes so it can soften. And like I said, get a little bit of that nuttier, browner kind of flavor and hue to it. All right, let's go ahead and add our cilantro. I'm going to save just a little bit in the end. I'm going to cut my green onions. All the way down to almost to the white. Then we're going to take our half a lemon, put it in our lemon or lime juicer. Put that right in on top. You can hear it sizzling. It's going to be excellent. Okay, it's really starting to get that nice brown color. It's looking great. All right, it looks great, it smells great. Turn that heat off, let that finish a little bit there. Excellent, 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 excellent. So, there you go. Ooh, that's a little warm. I'm gonna take a towel, hold that up. There we go. There we go. So we have our cauliflower rice. We have our green onions and our cilantro, a little bit of lime juice, lemon juice, and some salt. Super easy, super yummy. Have fun with it. Try some different herbs that you like. Go ahead and get the cauliflowers on sale. It's pretty inexpensive. And have some fun with it. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope to see you again. Stay well, stay safe. See you again soon. Thanks.